Has it ever occurred to you that even someone who seems larger than life, a performer whose stage stretches across continents and whose presence commands the gaze of tens of thousands, could suddenly find themselves overwhelmed by emotions so deep that tears refuse to be held back? This very question now grips the global BTS fandom after Kim Taehyung, better known by his stage name V, opened up about a moment of vulnerability that no one expected. In an exclusive interview with W Korea, later spread rapidly across every major social media platform, Taehyung admitted to something he had long kept private. He quietly cried during JHope's solo concert. The tears came precisely during the portion of the show where JHope and Jungkook performed a duet. It was a revelation that startled fans, igniting a wave of discussion and raising a heartfelt question: what was it about that specific moment that moved Taehyung so deeply he could not contain his emotions? The concert in question took place on August 11, 2025. Like any JHope performance, the night was initially charged with joy and energy, the venue electrified by colorful lights, pulsing rhythms, and the thunderous cheers of fans. Yet beneath the dazzle of the stage and the roar of the crowd, an emotional current was flowing unnoticed, until Taehyung later confessed it. He explained that while he attended simply to support his fellow member, something about the duet between Jungkook and JHope unlocked a floodgate of memories. He was carried back to their earliest days, their struggles, their victories, and the silent yet unbreakable bond that tied them together. Actually, I cried during Hobi's concert. Especially during his performance with Jungkook, Taehyung admitted, his voice steady but tinged with the weight of emotion. What made this confession even more poignant was his honesty about trying to hide it at the time. He admitted he felt too embarrassed to reveal such vulnerability in front of his members or the tens of thousands watching in the arena. It was a secret because I was shy. I didn't want anyone to notice, he said. Yet even as tears slid down, he forced himself to stand tall, watching the stage as if nothing had happened. Later, in a moment of lightheartedness, he joked, "What are tears?" trying to mask the intensity of what he had experienced. To many, this wasn't just a backstage anecdote. It symbolized something far deeper, the emotional fabric that binds BTS together after more than a decade of shared history. When Taehyung saw Jungkook and JHope perform, he didn't just see bandmates entertaining a crowd. He saw brothers who had trained beside him, faced sleepless nights together, endured setbacks, and ultimately rose to unimaginable success. In their voices, he heard echoes of struggle, resilience, and unwavering companionship. This revelation came at a significant time. BTS is preparing for their long-awaited full-group comeback in the spring of 2026, once all members have completed their military service. Many fans believe Taehyung's tears reflected not just nostalgia but also a profound longing for the moment when the seven of them would once again share a stage as a complete family. Jungkook, in particular, holds a special place in Taehyung's heart. Their bond, forged from the earliest days of BTS's journey, transcends professional partnership. When the two stand side by side, the unspoken brotherhood radiates far beyond the boundaries of a performance. It becomes a story told without words. Once Taehyung's confession surfaced online, particularly through the popular account Cook Twins on X, the fandom erupted. The clip spread like wildfire, sparking heartfelt discussions and emotional responses worldwide. Many ARMY admitted they cried just imagining the scene, while others saw the moment as proof that BTS's connection remains one of the rarest in the entertainment industry. Some fans even went back to the concert footage, searching for subtle signs of Taehyung's hidden tears, his breathing, the way his hands moved, or the expression in his eyes as he looked at Jungkook. For those who know every nuance of the member's body language, the signs were unmistakable. From a psychological standpoint, the moment underscores something profound. No matter how accustomed public figures may be to the spotlight, they are still human beings with fragile hearts. The pressure to remain strong often prevents celebrities from displaying raw emotion. That is precisely why Taehyung's confession felt so powerful. It was proof that crying is not weakness but honesty, a moment of acknowledging feelings too great to suppress. Speculation naturally followed. Some believe that as he watched Jungkook, Taehyung was remembering their teenage days of endless practice, when they supported one another quietly through exhaustion and doubt. Others think his tears reflected pride, watching Jungkook bloom into a global icon recognized for both his artistry and his perseverance. Still others interpret the moment as anticipation, an emotional swell brought on by the knowledge that BTS's reunion was finally drawing near. In the K-pop industry, group interactions often become media highlights, yet very few are as genuine as this. Taehyung's revelation was not rehearsed or polished, it was raw and real. In sharing his secret, he allowed fans to glimpse the side of himself rarely seen, not the polished idol, but the loyal brother and friend whose heart beats with sincerity. For many ARMY, this story serves as a reminder that behind the glittering facade of fame, behind chart-topping hits, award-winning performances, and meticulously choreographed routines, are men whose connection is built on genuine human experience. BTS is not just a band, they are a family. And like all families, they share moments of joy and heartbreak that words cannot always express. Taehyung's tears became a universal language that spoke to anyone who has ever felt the weight of friendship. Fans are now left wondering, could this emotional moment influence BTS's 2026 comeback? Might it inspire more personal, heartfelt music, or perhaps spark a collaboration between Taehyung and Jungkook that embodies their brotherhood? ARMY hopes so. If those tears were a signal of something greater, then perhaps the world is about to witness one of the most meaningful chapters in BTS history. For Taehyung, that August night may have marked a personal turning point. For fans, his confession was a reminder that even amid the perfection projected on stage, there exists a vulnerable heart, trembling with emotions too deep to ignore. Those tears, hidden in the shadows of the concert, are no longer a private moment but a shared story that deepens the bond between artist and audience. The significance of this story lies not only in the tears themselves but in what they represent. To some, it may appear as just a passing detail from a concert. Yet for ARMY, it is a mosaic of memories, pride, and anticipation woven into a single, unforgettable moment. Each tear carried fragments of laughter from the past, struggles endured in silence, and promises of togetherness yet to come. In a world that often demands constant strength and smiles, Taehyung's honesty feels rare and precious. He could have buried the memory, letting it vanish unnoticed. Instead, he chose to share it, even if shyly, reminding everyone that he too is human. In doing so, he revealed a truth: the strength of an artist lies not only in flawless performance but also in the courage to show vulnerability.